Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream of the Art Lounge Alley. I'm your host, and this is Coloring Comics. This is where I left off last time, which was last week. Coloring the cult meeting. So Conan finally got the opportunity to infiltrate the cult meeting, and unfortunately, he was discovered by the cult leader, who recognized that he didn't look familiar. And he looked like a newcomer, and I guess he knew what Conan looked like, so pointed him out to all these other cult members, and we have yet to find out what happens next when it comes to coloring comics. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to be using this brush right here. It's 0. Size 0. I found it to be pretty good. It does the job for pretty much everything. As you guys can see, I'm working small here, so kind of suits the need for broad strokes as well as detail. There's going to be a lot of green in this panel here, so let's see if I'm getting better at this mixture. I think I'm going to start exploring the approach. No, that's like that's too green, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Whoa. I'm gonna add more yellow. Yeah, I'm gonna just see how they used to do it back in the day, because what they did was they would figure out the color. They would pay attention to how they're mixing the color first. And once they find what they're looking for, they would just replicate that. Those steps. And then just create an entire vial full of that color. And I kind of like how all this blends. I really, really, really love India inks. I tried watercolor, and I'm not ruling it out. It's very challenging, I'll tell you that. Watercolor is very challenging. You get some amazing results, but what I don't like about it is that you need very specific paper. Like, you need paper that is really thick, because otherwise it's going to warp. And I think that's the part that turns me off, because I use these sketchbooks and I like very specific type of paper. Like, I don't like rough paper. I don't like paper that has a lot of texture. I don't like how the pencil feels on that. So for me, it just wasn't as fun. But I'm not ruling it out. I'm planning to come back to it. But I really, really love India inks. They dry quickly, so they add this protective layer to the paper, so it almost makes it versatile. Like, you could use it on any type of paper, even thin paper, I believe, which I'm going to be testing on this new sketchbook that I recently got to see how it works, how well that works. Yeah, I'm not getting the right color here. And I think that's because I don't have any brown involved. No. Beyond that. Shout out to Pretzel, man. I love this this playlist that they got going on. It's excellent. So this is a little bit of brown mixed in there, and I think it's kind of closer because what was going on was very neonish. Don't mind it. Kind of like it, but the goal here is to get better at mixing. So if I eye it, I want to be able to just do it right faster. I gotta favor this song. Hold on. Aquarelle? Is that what it's called? Aquarelle by Nopi. Nyopi? I don't know. I don't know what that... I'm guessing that's how you say it with that accent on top of it. Nyopi. Sounds like gnocchi. Like gnocchi. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not quite there yet. What is this color, man? It's the little dots that throw me off. It's like blue dots with yellow and green. And white. Maybe I need more white here. This is gonna be a pretty it's gonna be a pretty great week actually, because tomorrow Doom Patrol is coming out. So for those of you who have been following it along with me, who've been watching it as well, the new season is coming out tomorrow. So I'm hyped about that. Can't wait to see what kind of creativity they come up with. Not quite there yet. Reveal yourself, color. What are you? You're kind of yellow, but you're kind of green. Oh boy. I might sound frustrated, but I'm actually really enjoying it. Gonna spend a little time trying to study it. I'm going to show you guys what's going on over here. Ooh, carefully, because I got some combined colors here, but yeah, basically I'm just like mixing it all over here. And before, when I got this palette, I was just like, wow, there's so much space. What do you need all this space for? Now look at this. Now like it's really being utilized completely, if not demanding more space. But yeah, I'm just kind of playing around with it here. Gonna give you guys a little glimpse into it because I'm spending so much time there. Might as well. Trying to capture the likeness of that color. Dare I put a little bit of blue? Gonna add a hint of blue. Alright, let's see what we got here. And I kind of have to work quickly because it dries out pretty fast. No, that's so green. Way too green. I think this is more accurate. I'm thinking probably when I start adding the other green, you know, the shade, it's going to start look more or similar to the original. So those of you who have been following along with some of my advice, I would often say, like, you know, don't hold the pencil too close to the tip. Now, it's not really the case for when it comes to the brush, because with the brush, if you hold it to the side, right, in order for you to be able to hold it further away, when you hold it like that, you end up making really broad brush strokes. You know, because more of the brush is actually touching the surface as opposed to just the tip when it comes to the pencil. You know, no matter what angle you hold it in, if it's a mechanical pencil or even if it's like a regular pencil, it could only get so thick. Whereas with this brush, that's not the case. And there's paint all over it. It's not just like the tip of it. So you can get really thick lines that you didn't intend to make. So in order for it to be comfortable, you know, you do want to hold it closer towards the tip. Otherwise, it has to turn to something like this in order to get really thin lines, and that can get pretty uncomfortable if you're working for a while. Adjust to what the situation needs, but your default should want to be like at further away from the tip. When it comes, especially when it comes to drawing, when it comes to sketching things out, it gives you pretty good scope of vision on what's going on. It's not being blocked by your hand, which is what I'm dealing with right now. My hand is blocking the vision for everything else. Oh man. Green is so overpowering. But I guess it fits into the idea of light to dark. You know, if you're going from black to white, you know, if you put black paint and then you try to add more white to it, you're going to be adding a lot of white in order to, like, let's say, get more of a gray. Whereas if you go from white and you add a little bit of dark color to it or black color to it, you're going to use less paint, and you're going to do less work in general trying to get it to that color. No, I could already see how it's not going to work. So remember, light to dark. Thought I had it. I want to say it's like more yellow than it is green. I had it here. This pillar looks right. This, on the other hand, does not. Just gonna work directly on the canvas with these colors. There's also this line right here. I'm gonna say it's more yellow. Yeah, this is more accurate. I'm going to stop right there with that pillar because I'm slowly turning it like a pale brown You can see how quickly it dries. Like originally it was much greener. And just in a matter of minutes, I was able to do multiple coats and completely cover it. And yet, nothing on the other side. This is excellent paper. I'm so bummed that Canson hasn't returned my email. Because I really would want to find a large drawing pad of this type of paper. All right, moving on to the next. I'm going to say this is going to be less of a battle. Oh no, the blue seeped into the purple. Well, I don't really have that much purple anyway on any of these. All right, let's see if I got this. Where do I test this out? I'm going to test this out right here. I'm going to say too green. Way too green. Yeah, I've decided that I'm just not going to bother with details. I'm just going to cover them up and then come back with black ink. And redefine them. Nope. Oh, it's too pale. Nope, nope, nope. Color mixing is proving itself to be very problematic. It's probably going to take me several tries until I get this down. I'm going to say several streams, not even tries. I kind of have to, I think, approach this like a science, like really pay attention to how I'm mixing the colors. You know, and like calculate how much I'm dipping my brush into what. So that way I could just reproduce that color over and over and over again. But what I was getting at before was what I'm gonna need to do is just use up all these vials, these like little squeeze bottles, get new ones, and then when I'm creating these colors, just pour it into these little vials. Or just buy separate ones, like small ones, so that I could reuse them for other colors. Like clean them out and then use other colors inside of it. It doesn't look terrible. Just not. I'm not thrilled with the fact that I'm not able to capture like the exact color, because I really want to get that. I used water here to mix this one to retain the detail in the background to some degree, because even if I was to, let's say, switch up the order, like I would do pencils, then error here with my drawing. This is supposed to be a lot straighter to continue on as the stage. Yeah, even if I was to change up the order and I was to do like pencil first, then color over the pencil, but still need to see the detail for the inking. Or at least make it visible for that. It's already dried. Amazing. Okay, so it seems like brown is almost unavoidable. Like you have to add a little bit of brown in order to get this like yellow, green. Like this time it turned out pretty good. So I can't make this color that I'm seeing without brown. It's absolutely essential. Just filling it in. Not even worrying about it. But yeah, it's like opaque enough for me to be able to see where the detail is going to be. Otherwise, just having to go in between each and one of those like black lines to fill in the color and avoid that like that white border, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better to just fill them in, color that area, and then just come back and redo them. That's probably less time consuming. Guess I'm not fully done with this blue green. Ooh, water damage. Where's my trusty rag? Alright, gonna have to redo it. It's dried for the most part. Some green, a pinch of blue, and a lot of white. No, man. I think a little brown there to dull out the vibrancy. This is a personal detail right here. This isn't part of the original because I didn't measure out this panel right compared to the original. And like that space shouldn't have to exist. In fact, his hand is more, it's higher, you know, depending on how you want to look at it. Either the pillar is lower and the hand is within that pillar, or the arm is supposed to be higher. It's like entire figure is supposed to be taller. Alright, it's okay. I'm gonna move on to, looks like everything as far as the background is concerned is done. Or rather the pillars. So now I have to move on to another background that has like a really pale blue. But I'm going to say that blue also has a bit of black. So a pinch of black there, mix it in, and add more blue. And what that should give me is like this almost sky blue color. Is that good? I think more white. Yeah, that's more like it. Alright, at least we're getting something down immediately, which is this blue. Not very complicated. Probably gonna want to do a little bit of research after this, like, and see if there are any YouTube videos that show how people used to color traditionally back in the day. Like, I know what the procedure is like, you know, the technical procedure, but actually seeing people like colorists in that time color their panels. I mean, I guess acetate, like the way I'm doing it, I don't think is the way they did it. They had acetate paper, so that allowed the opportunity for mistakes to be made. Or rather, like, let's say this is acetate paper, right? And I'm going to say the inks were on top of this. It's confusing. Like, yeah, probably they had the pencil, right? So they had the pencil work. Then they used the acetate paper on top of it to ink it. And then they had acetate paper in between the inks and the pencils. And that's where they laid the colors. And then they would just like flip the acetate paper on top of the color to make sure that it matches. That's my guess. You know, that's my shot in the dark interpretation of how they used to do it back then. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little digging, see if I could find some sort of videos and that show some demonstration. Drop of water there. It's an interesting choice, actually. Like, I wouldn't think that sky blue would be something used. I wonder if that was like a color composition choice, like they just liked this combination of like blue and greens and purples that are coming up and yellows. But before the stream is over, I'm gonna fix this yellow right here. It should be more vibrant. A little too dull on my end. More white. Oh, it dried so quick. It's super white now. Dude, come on. No. Too white. I'm gonna lend it off to the other sections. Spread it around. I think this is the only time I don't mind that an app is learning from my likes. You know, before I would be like, no, you know, you're not getting it. But with Pretzel, considering the stream and such, I'm glad that it's choosing music that I enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave the background alone. And I'm gonna start with the purples. Alright, after this one, just gonna fix this area right here. It's too, compared to the original, it's too vibrant. I dipped it in a little bit of water, like I barely touched it with the brush. So that way I give the white some opacity. So like when I paint over this blue, it's not going to be super white since the blue is dried. And it seems to work. It's actually working pretty nicely. Alright, now I'm going to get into the purples. So I'm going to clean my brush to get all that gunk off of it. And I'm going to start with this guy right here. Oh man, I think this turned blue. We'll see. Nope, more white. More white and a drop of water. Drop of water as like a medium. Okay, maybe like a tiny droplet of black. One of the reasons why I'm using more water now is because the white that I have is slowly starting to like get thicker. That's more like it. So two things I was able to get right, which is the blue, the very simple blue, and the color of their robes. Now that I'm like looking at it, I'm like, is there red? Is there a hint of red in there? Oh boy, what a challenge. What a challenge. And here I'm gonna go for more water. I'm gonna try to make it opaque. Come back to it. Because there's way too much fine detail there. It's just hard to believe that that inks were done on acetate paper. because the original, right, like the original drawing itself was on paper. Obviously it was like on comic book paper. That was the pencils. Then they would ink on top of it, and then they would put acetate paper on top to color it. Or did they have to like re-ink with acetate paper, and that way they can color the originals and then put the inks on top of those colors? I don't know. It's really challenging to think about. Like, one thing I know for sure is like the comic book paper had both. It had ink and the pencil work. So if that was the case, how do they retain the inks? Like how you're seeing it here, like super, the inks are very vibrant. You know, it's not like what you're seeing here, which is like washed out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some digging. All right, everybody, with that said, I am going to call it a night for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the special intro for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the special stream. I will be uploading it tonight, so you guys can rewatch both of those deep cuts animations. And if you guys did enjoy this content, just make sure you remember to hit the like and subscribe button. They're both greatly appreciated. Once again, thanks to all the YouTube subscribers. You guys are great. I'm happy you guys are enjoying this. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Figure Drawing Basics at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the project stream at 9. So I'll see you there.